Good morning, my friends, and happy Friday. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, friends, and enjoyed some wonderful food and warm drinks. And today we are going to talk about a snowflake, which of course is leading up to the holidays. Now we're full on in the holiday season. And we are going to continue making snowflakes. We have already made some a couple of weeks ago. And now, in anticipation of the holidays, I've been making lots of fun festive projects. We've made icicles, we've made snowmen, and we have made snowflakes as well, but not like these. So these are they're really full, they're really sparkly, shimmery snowflakes. In fact, we actually did call it a shimmering snowflake. I'm sure you have noticed that it looks quite a bit fuller than the snowflakes that we have already made, which would look probably something very similar to this, which is perfectly beautiful. But today we are actually going to make double the snowflake. Like literally, we're going to make double the snowflake and then put it all together and add a fun, sparkly center. And we now have a shimmering snowflake. So we are about to explore all of that. And I know it may look a little complicated, but not really. It is so easy to make. You will be surprised by how simple this is. And I have, as of right now, I have 3 different colors, but today we're going to be adding another color yet. So the colors I have right now are Royal Rainbow, Royal Blue, and Silver Bells.
Midnight Rainbow.
Midnight Rainbow, yes. So we have Midnight Rainbow and
Silver Bells.
Silver Bells.
And Royal Rainbow.
And Royal Rainbow. Very good. Yay. Okay, so why don't we get started? So you might be familiar with these wonderful little snowflake forms. And this is exactly what we're going to use. So it's all the same form. There's not a different form for the shimmering snowflake. So I'm going to start by, we're just going to take a little pinch of these little seed beads and a little pinch of the beautiful faceted bugle beads. And we are going to need a few of these twisted beads as well, and a large faceted drop.
Julie says hello.
Hi, Julie. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today.
Katie S. says good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning, Katie, and happy Friday.
Lonnie says good morning. Happy Black Friday.
Good morning, Lonnie. That's right. It is Black Friday. Happy Black Friday, you guys. Is anybody going shopping for like big appliances, televisions, any of that? So I am starting to string, ladies, and the first 2 beads I have on my snowflake form are the 11-0 hollow metal seed beads. And next I have a faceted bugle, another 11-0 seed bead, and a couple of little twisted beads.
Trudy says good morning.
Good morning, Trudy, and thank you for joining us.
Gail says great job on those shimmering snowflakes.
Hey Gail, this is the lady of the hour. Thank you so much, Gail, for giving me this awesome idea. So I have to tell you guys, I think I did last week, but Gail is the wonderful creative lady who brought me a beautiful snow. You know what? I should have grabbed it, but I didn't. But she made me this beautiful gift of a snowflake, very similar to one of these. And thank you so much for that, Gail. I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed making these so much.
Gail adds, going to shop at my local small businesses today and tomorrow.
Fantastic. This is definitely a good time to support small businesses. In fact, tomorrow is Small Business Saturday. So please go support your local small businesses, including us, of course.
Veronica says good morning.
Good morning, Veronica.
Lynn O says good morning, everyone.
And good morning, Lynn. I'm so glad you joined me.
Julie says you couldn't pay me enough money to go shopping today.
You know what, Julie, I hear you. Unless, of course, it is a small business. That's different. But yes, I have to say I have never shopped on Black Friday.
Trudy says no way. I stay away from all that. LOL.
I know. We're in the same boat.
Gail says, Irina, you have taught me so much over the years. You are welcome and you rock.
Oh, thank you so much, Gail. Well, I think you rock too, as you know. All right, ladies. So I didn't quite finish my loop here. I will in a moment. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the pattern. So we have our 11 seed beads again. So we start out very much the same way. And it's important to start out with something really tiny. So as you can see, I'm actually going tinier than I normally do. In some of the other snowflakes, I've used 3 and 4 millimeter bicones. But since we're doubling the number of beads all the way around, and we can't fit very large beads in the center, so my choice was these 11 beads, not only because they're small, but also because these are like my favorite seed beads to use when I need something sturdy with a large hole. And I'll get to the sturdy part later, but I love the fact that they have a large hole and clearly they fit well over the heavier wire in the snowflake form. So now I'm going to again just string another seed bead onto the leg of the snowflake and repeating the same pattern. So this is what it looks like so far. So repeating most of the same pattern in the smaller snowflake. I don't know if this is something I mentioned, but one of the forms, this form, is just a little smaller than the other form. So right now I'm working with this slightly larger form. And so I have a little bit more room, and the only difference between the smaller and the larger form patterns is going to be the extra twisted bead. So this time we're using a large twisted bead. So you can see this is the only difference. So now I'm going to start making a loop. And again, to make a loop, we are going to use the flat nose pliers. And something I would like to emphasize is that I don't start right next to the bead. Can you see I have about 2 to 3 millimeters of space between the bead and my pliers? And it's important to do that because otherwise with this memory wire, it's just very easy to crack your bead. So make sure you leave that little bit of space. And again, I am going to start making a loop. So to complete the loop, the easiest way to do it is use your crimping pliers. So I use the oval opening right at the end of the crimping pliers. And so I just close my loop. It's very difficult to close the loop just using the round nose. So I really like doing it this way. And I'm going to close the loop on my smaller form as well. So here we go. And so to complete the snowflake, we're just going to keep repeating the very same pattern. So on the larger one, we will repeat the pattern of this leg that I already finished, and of course on the smaller one as well. So again, on the smaller one, we skip that large twisted bead. So we're going to keep beading our snowflake forms until we have gone all the way around. And as I like to say, through the magic of Facebook Live, look, these are all done. And not only that, they have just changed color as well. Wow. So this is going to be our next colorway, which is chocolate champagne. And since it's not yet finished, it's the only one that isn't listed in the shop just yet, but we'll be sure to list it this afternoon.
Gail says using the crimping tool to close the loops is a great tip. Everyone watching, do that. It works.
Yay! Thanks, Gail. All right, ladies. So now I'm going to start working on connecting the two snowflakes. And I have this little 28 gauge wire. It's very thin. It's really perfect for this type of a project. So I'm going to start by, and it doesn't matter which one, you pick one. So I'm just going to pick up one of the forms and pick a leg, any leg, just pick your favorite, right? And get the wire right in between those two seed beads in the very beginning. So our 11O seed beads, and we're going to put the wire right in between, and we will just go around the memory wire just one time, just to anchor our 28 gauge wire. And I'm just going to point out that I left a tail of maybe about 5 to 6 inches. So leave a little tail. And now that we have our 28 gauge wire anchored on the memory wire, we are going to put our other snowflake right on top. And I like to keep the tail at the top, right? So I'm just going to pull it through so that I can see it. So while holding the two snowflakes, see how they're just kind of nesting so nicely. They just do that.
Ellen says, hi, Irina and everyone.
Hi, Ellen, and thank you for joining us.
Elena says, good morning, everyone.
Hi, Elena. I am glad you've joined us. All right, guys. So you can see I'm just holding them. And so now I'm going to take the longer end of the wire, and I'm going to go right in between the 11 OC beads. So this is on the next leg. So just go right in between the 11 OC beads. And this is going to be kind of like a basket weave. If you've ever seen the bottom of the basket, it's just, there's like one reed that goes back and forth and just kind of weaves through. And that's exactly what we're doing. So as all these legs of our snowflake are radiating from the center, we are going in between that first and second seed bead.
Sabrina says, hi, Irina and Tony. Good morning.
Hi, Sabrina, and good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. All right, guys. So as you can see, I hope you can see, I don't know how well the camera is picking this up, but I'm just continuing to go in between the 11 O's, the first bead and the second bead. Sometimes you kind of have to guide the wire a little bit. And so I believe I just went all the way around. If you want to, you can go around a couple of times. The wire is really very, very small. So it's not going to, like a little extra row is not going to really contribute to the look a whole lot. You won't really be able to see it. So as I'm talking, I guess I'm just going around one more time. And once I go around the second time, and the second time is really just for a little insurance. You really don't have to, but I feel that it gets just a little sturdier if you do that. And so once I've gone around the second time, I will turn in the opposite direction. So this is a pretty good time to turn in the opposite direction. How I know is I got to my tail. So right now I'm in the same row as, remember that 5 to 6 inch tail that we left. So I'm right there. So what I'll do is I will pull the long end of the wire through, but instead of going in the same direction, I will simply change directions. And so now I am going back in the opposite direction, and what that's doing is reinforcing the whole structure. This is going to be so solid. What we're looking for is just a really solid piece that does not feel like the two snowflakes are kind of wobbly and separating. So we're going for that very, very solid feel.
Ruby says, so beautiful.
Thank you so much, Ruby.
Gail says, that is a great way to connect the two components. Again, I learned from Irina.
Oh, thank you so much, Gail. This was actually your idea.
Lonnie says, great idea. I made ones out of clear crystal last year.
Oh, fantastic. And maybe, Lonnie, you can share the picture on our Facebook page. We would love to see it. All right, so you can see that little center. And so I just went all the way around. And again, how I know is I'm able to pull out. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't yet go all the way around. I guess I'm still going because I'm not quite yet back to where the other tail is. So we'll just go around really quickly. And now I am at the same spot right here. I'm at the same spot as the other tail. So I think I'll just go maybe just a little further, only to space my two ends, just a little bit. So my two ends of the wire are, well, if we use the clock, okay, so if I'm looking at this little circle in the center of the snowflake, and this is 12 o'clock, and this is 6 o'clock, so to me, this looks like my two ends are about at 5 and 7. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. So there's just a little space between the two ends. And there's a reason for this space. And you will see exactly why once I show you this little component.
Elena says, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Elena. Okay, guys, so do you see the two holes on the component? Can you guys see the two holes? Right? Oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Yep.
So right there.
Now we can.
Cool. Okay, so I want you guys to know that on some of the components, I don't remember which color is which, but on some of the components, the holes are like this. And on others, the holes are spaced just a little differently. There'll be a hole on this side, a hole on this side, and so forth. So there's one hole per side. Well, what's important is that there's still 4 holes. So it really doesn't matter if they're positioned exactly this way on one side or if they're equidistant and they're on all 4 sides. It's going to create exactly the same look. So this is what we're going to do now. We are going to use, first actually, I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to straighten the very ends of the wire. And I'm going to use those ends of the wire to go through both sets of holes. So it'll just go all the way through like this.
Gail says you are improving the technique. It's yours now.
Oh, Gail, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Elena says beautiful.
Yay, thank you so much, Elena.
Terry says that looks lovely.
Thank you, Terry. All right, guys, so you can see how I'm going through the 2 openings with my 2 ends of the wire. So the wire is very thin, and please treat it like wire. Oh, you know what? I think this is exactly where it's going. So this is why they were a little bit spaced, and if you space it just right, and it's very easy to do that, your little jewel is going to end up right in the center, which is exactly what we're going for. So now I'm going to take each of the ends and simply go through the opposite side of that little circle. And so now we are on the back. Not that there is a back or a front. The 2 sides are going to be identical. But, if we look at the side we're working on as being the front, at least for the moment, the 2 ends of the wire are now at the back of the piece. And so what we'll do is we will go through one more time. So I'm just going right back through the little openings in the weave. And it doesn't, sometimes you kind of have to look for those little openings. We don't really need a whole lot of an opening because the wire is so thin, and yet I'm having a difficult time finding one. So maybe I will just have to create a little bit of an opening. But if you have to do so, just do it very, very carefully, very gently, because again, this wire is very delicate. So now I'm just going to cut the very end of the wire so that it's straight. And let's see if we can go through now. Yes, so much better. So I am also trying to make the wire correspond as far as like where it comes out. I'm making it correspond to the holes. So it may be a little bit of trial and error. Okay, it just does not want to go through now. You know what? Maybe we will just cut this again one more time. And it should go through now. Okay, so I'm just going to poke my round nose pliers through again and stretch that little opening. Just don't do it super forcefully. Okay, so here we go, finally.
Sherry says, hello, this is gorgeous and I'm late to the party. Will there be a replay, please?
Thank you so much, Sherry. You're not really late to the party because you can have your own party or re-watch the video anytime you would like. All of our videos are archived, and by the way, I'm about to go right back through. I'm really kind of all about reinforcing, so I like going through a couple of times. And okay, just went through and it went right back in because I wasn't quick enough to catch it on the other side. So here it is again. All right, so this time I'm just going to grab it right now so it doesn't run away.
Sherry says, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure, Sherry. So you can rewatch anytime you want, and we have many other videos.
Gail says maybe an awl would work well to make an opening when it's not cooperating.
You know what? An awl would be great, and I often use an awl, but only if I had it right next to me right now. I didn't grab it before the video, so it's okay. We just work with what we have on hand. Okay, so I am pushing this through the hole, and there it is. So just a couple of times through is plenty. And frankly, even just one would probably have been okay. But, you know, it's always good to reinforce. So now I am going to do the same thing again, where I bring both of the wire ends rather, right back through to the other side. So here's our wire. And I will do the same with the remaining end of the wire.
Gail says, ha, you mean you don't have every tool in the universe on your workbench?
Well, I kind of do, but I have multiple workbenches. That is my problem. I have my office, I have my classroom, and I have my video room. So my tools kind of travel a little bit.
Katie says, I may never make single snowflakes again.
Oh my goodness, Katie, wow. That is quite the statement. Okay, guys, so I am now going to use the remaining little bezel jewel. So again, this is what it looks like. This is our little jewel with the setting, with the double holes, which of course those double holes are very helpful in making our jewel sit nice and flat right in the center of the snowflake. So here we go. We're just going to center the little jewel. Just kind of adjust it with your fingers. So this is where it is. And now we are going to do pretty much the same thing on this side and go through the little circle or the little bit of netting that we created with our wire. So this time the wire is actually being very cooperative, and to be honest, when I was making the other snowflakes, it was so cooperative I never actually had to stretch anything. And you know, whenever something is going to go just a little bit awry, it's probably going to happen on camera. So that is just the rule of the universe. So now I will pull the wire through, and what I'll do is I will probably, you know what, we might as well just finish it. I was going to say I will probably reinforce it off camera, but why? We're so close, and I would love to show you the actual finished piece. So now I am just going to reinforce by going through the same holes. And sometimes, you know, because of the component is hollow, so it just takes a couple of times poking through until you find that corresponding hole. So here we go. Just pull it through gently. And we have the remaining little end of the wire. And it is getting pretty small because, of course, I kept cutting it, so I don't want to cut it anymore. So I will just use my flat nose pliers to straighten it. And we find one of the little openings and push it right through. Okay, it really doesn't want to sew. No worries. We will just go around, and that is just as good. So to finish our snowflake, we are simply going to find a good spot. And remember, this is very thin wire, so it's incredibly easy to hide. So all I'm going to do is just wrap the wire in between those same 2 seed beads, and of course we're always going to cut it as close as possible. And somewhere I had my chain nose pliers. Well, actually I have my tapered flat nose pliers right here. I don't know where my chain nose pliers went, but the tapered flat nose pliers is just as good when tucking in the end. We always want to tuck in those little ends so they do not poke out. Even though it's not a wearable piece, ladies, but still, we don't want to make it into something that catches. So make sure to coil around one of the legs right in between the seed beads and then just tuck in the end.
I don't know, a whole bunch of them could be fun on a sweater.
On a sweater, that's right. If you were going to one of those, you know, I don't actually consider them ugly, but you know,
Festive
these days
sweaters.
yes, the festive sweaters. So there we go. We just finished the snowflake, and I have all sorts of, well, actually, first, let me show you all my colors of snowflakes. So this is what they look like. And let's see if I can remember the names. We have Royal Rainbow and Midnight Rainbow. Then we have Silver Bells. And the newest one is Chocolate and Champagne. Ta-da! So not only are these really fun for your tree, I'm sure they will look absolutely beautiful on your tree, but you can put it in the window. I like to hang them from my light fixtures. You can use them as part of the packaging. You decide. Just be creative in how you use them. All right, ladies, I have a few things to show you as far as previews of what's coming up. And of course, we only had the one video this week, so it feels a little strange that there's not the second video. But next week, we'll have a couple of videos. And on Thursday, we are going to be making some very festive drinks. And, oh, actually, you know what? I should tell you, even before Thursday, you know, I should have grabbed some pieces. Well, I guess I am wearing one of the pieces. So on Sunday, I will be making, I'm sorry. No, I'm trying to take off my metal clay piece and talk at the same time, and it's not working out for me super well. So on Sunday, I'm going to have a trunk show of my pieces. And if anybody is not familiar with my jewelry, this is what I do. I create pieces out of fine silver. Oh, and here's another piece that Tony just handed to me. I guess this is from the last trunk show we did. And so I create fine silver jewelry, and this is some of what it looks like. And this Sunday I will be sharing some stories and some inspirations with you. And this is going to be November 27th at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, and this is going to be on my page. Okay, and moving right along. So this is the silver trunk show. There's so much to tell. Oh my gosh, where do I begin?
Trudy is wondering, are you going to show us the hangers again this year?
Oh my gosh, Trudy, yes. You know what? I keep saying that I'm going to do it, and then I keep forgetting to grab wire to do it. I could almost have done it today. I feel so badly. But you know what? I'm just going to commit to doing the hangers when, So, okay, so you tell me. I have a couple of videos next week. One of them is the festive drinks, and the other one is the spiders. Clearly, it goes better with the spiders. So I'm thinking, when we do the spiders, let's do the video. Let's do the demo on how to make the hangers for your holiday gift, for your holiday ornaments, right? So for the icicles and the snowflakes and the spiders. But in the meantime, this is what I have coming up. So on Thursday, I'm going to be making festive holiday earrings. And actually, I came up with a slightly different day to do it. So this is going to be Thursday, December 1st at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on my page.
And those are the festive cocktail earrings?
Yes, these are the festive cocktail earrings. I know, I probably skipped a word.
Sherry says, I collect antique brooches, and these remind me of them.
Oh my gosh, you know what? You are absolutely right. And this, I know it's a bit on the larger side, but if you skipped one of the little jewels and made one the back and one the front, it would be so easy to make this into a brooch.
Gail says the kits are beautiful.
Thank you so much, Gail. And thank you so much for the idea. So we're going to make all sorts of fun drinks.
When are we making the drinks again?
We are making the drinks on Thursday, December 1st, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And this is going to be on my page. So do you want to know which drinks? I'm very, very excited about this. So we have the grasshopper. We have the famous holiday drink, Santa Clausmopolitan. Then you have to have eggnog, right? You have to. So do you see the little tiny stick of cinnamon? And of course, the pink squirrel. This is the lesser known pink squirrel in the rest of the country. However, I will share with you that pink squirrel was actually invented in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, given that fact, I had to do it, right? So, and there's a little cherry, actually a couple of little cherries on the pink squirrel. So tell me if you're familiar with pink squirrel. Anybody ever had a pink squirrel?
Fonda says, good morning, everyone. Running late?
Good morning, Fonda. I'm sorry you're running late, but I'm very happy that you joined us.
Gail says those earrings are stinking cute.
Oh, thank you so much, Gail.
Sherry says, I love your teamwork here.
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you so much, Sherry. This is what we do in real life, too.
Sherry says these are adorable.
Thanks so much.
Trudy says, sounds delicious.
Yay! And you know what? I have to ask you, do you have any holiday drinks that you feel would make a fun pair of earrings? Because give me an idea, and if I can do it, I will.
Fonda says these drinks are adorable.
Thank you so much, Fonda.
Gail's wondering, will the festive drink earrings be kids in your Etsy shop?
You bet, Gail. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So as with all of our kits, we will have them up and listed the day of when I do the video, which again is going to be next Thursday.
Sherry says, I don't drink, but these work for me.
You know what, Sherry? You can call them a Shirley Temple. And then maybe they work.
Lonnie says, never heard of a pink squirrel.
You know, I had never heard of a pink squirrel until a couple of weeks ago when one of my coworkers made me a list of drinks that would make fun earrings. And literally, I went from her list. So I have yet to have a pink squirrel someday.
Gail says, hot cider.
Hot cider, fun. And we certainly could add a little cinnamon stick just like that to a hot cider. That'd be fun.
Anne says, I was unaware that no one else knew about pink squirrels.
I know, right? I mean, I didn't, but once I found out, it's like, I mean, it's just such a cute name. Now I want to try one.
Anne says, I grew up in Bayview, though, so at random was always there.
I don't know what that means. It probably is some type of a bar.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, it sounds like fun. And given that it was invented right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, of course, we are technically in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Okay, so anyway, this is going to be our Thursday video. And let me put these down so that I can show you the spiders. So we have this really fun tradition for the past, I don't know how many years, pretty much since I started doing these videos. I have been telling the Christmas spider story, and I know that a lot of you are familiar with the Christmas spider story. And yet every time I tell it, there's always somebody who is not. So it's really fun to revisit. It's a very sweet holiday story. It's essentially the story about origin of tinsel. So the Christmas spider is kind of an iconic ornament in in several countries in Eastern Europe and in Germany. And so every year I tell the story. And so this is this year's Christmas spider version. As you can tell, they are much larger than normal. And, well, I shouldn't say the normal. It's just that I've been making these tiny little guys, these Christmas spiders, which actually have been very, very popular. And so next Friday, we're making the sparkly spider ornaments. And this is going to be December 2nd at 9 a.m. on the Eclectica page. And again, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Fonda says, I learned of the Christmas spider from you last year.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Fonda. Yeah, it's actually kind of just a very sweet story. And, it's become a little bit of a tradition for us to tell it.
Teresa says, love the Christmas spider.
Thank you so much, Teresa. What do you think about this year's? Isn't it fun? It's pretty huge. Look at it on my hand.
Sherry says that's a regular squirrel that's gotten some fermented fruit.
Ah, well, you know how those squirrels are. They love fermented fruit.
Anne says, at random is an institution you need to go to.
Oh, okay. I will keep that in mind. Okay, guys. And one more thing. I know there's so much going on around this time of the year. So in addition to our sale in our brick and mortar store, we're also having an Etsy shop sale where over 650 items are on sale at 30% off. It's a really great sale. So please do visit the Etsy shop. Oh, but wait, there's more. I also have another little visual cue here. that I need to tell you about my new rustic snowman, because we keep selling out of all the rustic snowman kits. I guess it's been one of the favorites this year. So this is actually called Botanical Rustic Snowman, because you can see he loves flowers. He has some flowers on his body, and so his hat is just a tiny bit floral as well. So I called him Botanical Rustic Snowman.
Katie says, I'll have to make some Christmas spiders. The guys here didn't want me to take the Halloween spiders off the chandelier. I just removed them Wednesday.
Oh, yay! That's awesome! I'm so glad that you're into the Halloween spiders. So the new Christmas spider kit is going to have 3 spiders, and so as you know, this is just a preview. Often I don't even know exactly what the third component is going to look like until the day before. So pretty much I don't, but I think he might be, well, he will definitely be sparkly. He might be kind of like golden looking. So this is what we're doing next week.
Sherry says, I'm glad I found you.
Oh, I'm so glad, Sherry. I'm so happy. Yay. I think we're done, right? So we talked about my trunk show and the rustic snowman and everything that's coming up next week. I think we're good right now, right? So I will just say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your awesome comments. And I will see you maybe on Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's not the normal time, so put it on your calendar if you're going to watch. And so the exciting thing is I will give you a promo code for a coupon that you can apply to your purchase. And of course, if you want to be notified about these videos, especially the videos that don't take place at the regular time, please click that bell and that will sign you up to receive notifications. All right, ladies, thank you again. Thank you so much for your comments and for watching, and I will see you on Sunday.